Welcome back to the channel. It's March Madness. I hope everybody's having a great time watching basketball 24 hours a day for the next week. What I want to do now is go through and find some plays, but more importantly, I kind of want to talk about the features of this eight ring station because I think it's really the premier software for sharp sports betting. Even if you just want to, even if you're not a big fan of the one-sided positive EV plays, I still think it's a fantastic piece of software, even if you're just line shopping. It does so much, and it keeps a great record um, of your plays now with the wager history, which I think they're going to expand on. But let's go through this. Before I do, I guess I will share how I did yesterday. I ended up with a 16% return. I was 16 and 12 for on $100. I won 18. So what I've said before. So this is a great summary, and I think they're going to be doing more with it, including cumulatively. I hope looking at all the plays historically. But what you've got is your odds, what you placed it at on average. You've got your obviously the number of wagers and your average wager, your flat EV percentage, which I think is just an average, and then you've got your weighted EV, and then you've got your so these are your EV, your CLV, and your ROI. Of course, those are the three key ones, and obviously you want those green. Like the day before, I was green all the way. I was up $50 on 136. So I've had a really good month. Um, some of what happened with the EV, not to get too much into the detail, but I did some plays that I knew going into it were not EV. So I'm okay with the results here, particularly since I came out green. Your closing line value is probably the most important number on the screen because if you can get 1.5 to at least 1.5% of closing line value uh, on average, you're going to make money and it's going to compound. I think that's the key thing. Um, Positive EV betting is in my opinion, particularly at kind of the bet amounts that I'm doing right now, is a volume game because what you're really trying to do is the closing line value and your positive EV is predicated on getting a good no vig odds number, which is tantamount to saying what are the odds if you and your friend flipped a coin hundreds and hundreds of times. And so by that logic, as well as with betting, you want to get some volume in there before you'll really see an impact on your positive EV and CLV. So I've done very well. I mean, I was actually up at all the books for the last couple of days. I think that from a closing line value perspective, my negative CLVs. So the difference when you look at just your negative CLV plays, which is what I did here, uh, the difference between that and what you've made is really variance. And it's in this case it's positive variance. So great stuff here. This really helps a lot. I hardly ever use a spreadsheet anymore just because of this. I do keep a cumulative listing of what I've bet, but this is fantastic wager summary. As far as the settings, so my situation is I'm a casual bettor. I have what I would say an academic interest in what we're doing here. I mean, obviously, I want to make money. We all want to make money, but that's not really what I'm doing this for. I want to test out some theories, betting theories. I'm very enamored with positive EV. I want to build up a database essentially of bets history all the way through the MLB. And depending on that bulk of bets, after we get through with MLB and we start up the new college football and NBA, then I'm going to take another look at my bankroll and decide, am I going up? Am I staying the same? And at this point, what I would tell you is because of 8 Rain Station, I will be increasing my bankroll and my betting. But right now, I'm just trying to perfect the art of positive EV betting, uh, and just see how much variance that I incur. Because once I up my bankroll, obviously, you got to have an appetite to suffer through variance. The Kelly multiplier is simply I would say that this is kind of a guardian of ruin calculator. You want to make sure that you don't overspend your bankroll on any particular bet. Although I would say, even at this 15% multiplier, most of the times I shave it off. I shave the number even off of the bet size, even off of that. Just depends on my mood of the bet. So that's it for the settings. As far as the weightings is what really drives this thing. And how you set your weightings is going to dictate pretty much how your no vig odds are calculated. Right now, you're looking at default weightings. What I typically do is what I typically do is bet online. I got one. Actually, what I've been doing is two on Bet Online, two on Pinnacle. I give Caesars a one, and I've given Bet Rivers 0.5. And that's just from my bet history, in my opinion. And my opinion is that Pinnacle and Bet Online is the best books, followed closely by Caesars. And I think Bet Rivers, at least from the 500 or 600 bets I've placed, Bet Rivers is not too bad at spreads and totals. Player props is where I've done okay with them, but so I mean, I put them on here because I do think they have some value in certain circumstances, but I don't rely on them exclusively if they're only the strong book that shows up. I think Caesars is pretty damn good at, at at totals and spreads as well. So I'm leery. Particularly, I've lost my ass betting against Caesars on first half totals. But that's so I will do this. I will also do the defaults, and I'll do just one and one bet online and Pinnacle. But for right now, I'm going to do it this way. Um, so here we go. This is the bet screen. So this summarizes your EV, and it's ranked. It's grouped by games, but you can do it any way you want. You can change this. You can change it. I just rank it by EV, not by game. This is the recommended bet amount, the book, player prop, what type of bet it is. This is your weightings. So you can see here we've got no sharp book action here for these power play points. And then you've got your no vig odds and your hold percentage over here. What I typically do, let me go ahead and hide. Let me put it back up game. I'm going to hide already bet. I like to go at 2.5 and a minimum weight of 2. That's kind of the first pass. So now you've kind of filtered down the universe of betting opportunity, and we have some interesting information to look at. So the very first bet comes up, and this is a story in and of itself. Anchor, anchor. I love the name. You see the red here? That means I'm on the opposite side, and I purposely did this. again, for me, this is not all about, oh my gosh, there's 7% EV, run over to FanDuel and play it. Um, this is one play that I felt like it's just wrong. Uh, I think FanDuel has this one right, and based on my analysis and what I looked at when I looked at Anchor on rebounds, I took the opposite side. I'm not going to do that often. I'm not going to do it for very much money, but I did do it, and I'm interested in seeing those results because I did make some notations of what I'm doing here. But you can see it's an arbitrage. This purple is your arbitrage. So there's EV embedded in this bet. It's just where is it? Uh, the math would tell you the most obvious answer is it's right there at FanDuel on the over, and we will see. And I'm probably wrong, but I wanted to see what happens when I. So why did I do this? Again, I know a little bit about the statistics. I know that Anchor plays for Samford. I know the Kansas Jayhawks are, even though they've got injuries, are likely to roll in this situation. And I just don't feel like Anchor is going to get his average playing a, the top 20 team like Kansas. Also, uh, you can see contrarian line movement. Now, you've got differences of opinion all going to the over, granted, but there are differences of opinion on how extreme you can be. So if you go just so you what I really like about this as well is you can isolate books. So if I want to just look at what is bet online if we make them the sharp book here, and you can see it's a 5% play, but there's your but. Well, you got 2% on the other side, and that was my point. So interesting analysis, I think, and this is the kind of stuff I really enjoy about 8 Rain Station, or I'm going to just call it the ATM station because that's what it's been for me. The other thing that's been added, and they're continuing to improve things almost daily, is you've got this alt line scenario up here where you can jump to alt lines and see who's got odds on what lines over under the main line that was being shown. So you can see that on the over at 7.5, we've got plus money, one-sided plus money on both sides of the ledger. That to me is interesting as well, which to me indicates again some real contradictory evidence within the marketplace on this particular bet. All right, that's enough on that one. I've already bet it, so it doesn't matter anymore. I've also got a bet on KJ Adams points. I've already bet this over 14 and a half. I actually went with 13 and a half. I've been doing this as well. So where there's EV on a play, so your EV is on the 14 and a half, but FanDuel in this case is offering decent odds, I would say 1 point under. And because it's college basketball with a lot of variance, uh, I have been in some instances, and this is one of those examples where I didn't play the EV. I actually went to an alt line to get a little bit of cushion, if you will, between the EV 14 and a half and the 13 and a half. Now, I will say this: I've been doing this as well, say 3 or 4 plays a day, where I take a much more conservative approach to the EV play and go with an alt line. Almost in every instance, it didn't matter. They either, if I had the over and I took a number slightly below the EV to get some cush, they either went way over or way under. There was nothing falling. There's the risk of falling within the 13 and a half and 14 and a half appears to be immaterial, at least for the small betting sample that I've got. But this, I think, is a strong play. All right, KJ Adams. So let's look at something I haven't bet yet. Trey King threes over. Now, when in the bet detail screen that we're on here, you what I also like about it is the software will tell you what you're already on, just to kind of give you a summary, and it also gives you a little snapshot of what your EV and CLV is on that particular game. So I've already got action on this. My God, look at that. Threes over 1.5. I've got 25% improvement there on the CLV. Holy shit. Anyway, so this is mano a mano bet online versus FanDuel. It's a heavy dog play. Trey King threes. I don't know. Maybe he gets this 30. I mean, the math will tell you 37% of the time. I got enough action on this game. I'm passing. It's just I like to have much more of a market representation on bets. So let's go to the next one. Oakland and Kentucky. Rob Dillingham points over 14.5. So this is a 7.5% EV. And we've got bet online, line movement to the left. DraftKings and Bovada also in agreement. BetMGM put out a line that really hadn't moved, nor has FanDuel. They got a one-sided line. I mean, this looks like a good bet. I don't see anything wrong with it. The 7% is one maybe one indicator worth looking at or keeping in mind would be, is your EV percentage greater than the book's hold? And again, the book's hold would be the difference between the two odds, and that essentially represents what their book's take is to take action on the bet. So when the EV is in this case higher than the hold, the 6%. Although I mean, FanDuel keeps I think typically a relatively high hold. Uh, so when you look at it from that aspect, it's you got 1.4% above and beyond FanDuel's hold. I think this is a there's no reason not to play this, but because we've got time and I just like to do this, we're going to look at his stats just real quick. I don't really need this to make the decision. Rob Dillingham. Points. I mean, he's averaging 16 on 21 games. He got 27 against Texas A&M, and then he was under. So he's 3-2. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna bet it. I mean, there's no reason not to bet it. So I'm gonna go to FanDuel. I'll get it on my phone here. Let's see. Wait a minute. One thing. He plays for Kentucky, right? I don't want to be on the Oakland side. Although I think Oakland will score now. Don't get me wrong. I think they'll keep up. I think Kentucky, even with their injuries, will demonstrate why they're in the tournament tonight. Let's see. Oakland. By the way, that's not Oakland, California either. Rob Dillingham points. Over. So here's a case where if you want to be a little bit of a conservative approach, you could take an alt line of 13.5 at minus 122. I am not going to do that though. I'm gonna bet it. Rob Dillingham. DraftKings has three. This is irritating. Rob Dillingham. They got alternate points, and they purposely don't have the 14 and a half there. So you got to go further down. This is aggravating. Actually, I don't see the 14 and a half. Even in the alt line. It goes from 13 and a half, it jumps to 15 and a half. I swear I don't see it. Uh, I'm gonna take the alt line. That's not the EV play, but I'm still gonna take the alt line. I couldn't find the 14 and a half. I could find a 15. All right, let's refresh. It's definitely important to refresh. I already got action on this. Damian Dunn threes over. This is a wow. So this is a favorite play with the dark. So the dark blue. This means, oh well. My description of it when you see the dark blue is, oh hell yeah, hell yeah. Now this is interesting though. Look at FanDuel has no hold. What's a one-sided line, dumbass? Okay. Bet online and Pinnacle. Bet online and has a 6% hold. It looks like it's more than six just looking at the graphic, but Damian Dunn threes over. I mean, why would I not play this? The only reason I wouldn't play this is if maybe let me at least see how many attempts he makes a game. I'd like to see that. Well, that's Prairie View. What the heck? The Cougs. He was 0 for 3 the last game. He took one the previous game, didn't make it, and then before that he made two and three. Chalky. I'm gonna pass. I've seen enough. I'm gonna pass. I got Houston Cougars first half, by the way. Drake, Washington State. I got some action on this one. Um, so when you see this, it means the lines are not updated. So it's been less. It's been a minute. We'll just hit refresh and it will come up usually. So here we've got the two strong books, Bet Online and Pinnacle, with a disagreement about. So they're on opposite sides of this thing. Pinnacle likes the under. Bet Online likes the over. I think that's enough to pass. Just I don't like. I need consistency if I can get it. Too many other bets. Connor Enright assists. Once again, two strong books. Slight difference of opinion, not a lot. 5% play at DraftKings. Um, the dark. So I forgot. I just the dark blues plus money. So when you see what you really want to, the oh hell yeah is when you've got dark blue for just one book, and the rest of the market is different. That's what you're looking. That's the oh hell yeah. So this whole side is plus money, obviously. Um, and really depending on which book's perspective you, well, even with Pinnacle, it's plus money. Uh, Curious Bet MGM is even better. I mean, again, all the books are favoring are giving you pretty good value on the over, and you've got 8%. DraftKings has got a 5.5% hold. I think this is worth a bet, but for the sake of time wasting, we will just piss around and look at it. And now, one thing I don't like, well, it's assists. It's guard. I don't like. I'm not too big fan of rebounds on guards, but assists is a different thing. It's right. I mean, they're always setting it at the average. Last game, I would have lost the bet. Three before that, I would have won. It's a coin flip thing. It's 46%. Yeah, for a coin flip, 7%, 8%. Why wouldn't you do that? So after all that, I'm going to go to DraftKings and I'm going to make the bet. Oh, come on. Uh, Drake. This is 9 o'clock. Player assists. Connor Enright. Now, for plays that are not the favored plays, I tend to uh, reduce the bet size. Grambling State at Purdue. What a game last night. Grambling State came back from the dead, basically, and beat Montana State in overtime. What a game. What a game. Now we've got Pinnacle and Caesars. Well, this is nothing here. This is strong book against strong book. All right, pass. Now we've got another threes over with Pinnacle and Bet Online. The market is on the under. FanDuel's offering a one-sided line. What little line movement there is actually headed to the under. I'm a pass. I mean, with the data, the no software that I know of gives you this kind of data that allows you to kind of make these split decisions so quickly. Um, I just don't know that it's out there. I was not impressed with Odds GM at all. Nurkic. FanDuel offering another one-sided line. Now this time we're on the favorite play. The money is on the double double. You've got Pinnacle at it used to be at 124, now at 143. So you've got the hard line movement to the left. Everybody to the left, except for our buddies at FanDuel. Now you can whine about the hold if you want, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to bet this without hesitation. FanDuel, yes sir. FanDuel. Nurkic double double. Oh, you know what though? There was one double double. What? Who was that? Donick. Fuck. How do you say his name? Donich. I bet him to go over, and he had some problem with his thigh or his hip or something, and of course the bet lost. Just take a real quick look. I mean, he's 2 for 3. I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion he's going to get it, but Phoenix is at home and Atlanta's dog shit on the road, so I'm betting it. I'm getting there. I just have to convince myself. I kind of just take the approach that with these bets that yes, I want to get in a lot of volume because I'm a small unit. I shouldn't even say unit size. That's you don't we don't talk about units, but my average bet size is small enough that I need volume to have an impact. Is what I should say. Units. All right. Let's see. Nurkic double 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 double. Of course, I'm going to bet this minus 105. I mean, it's a 50-50. I got pretty much my entire. I pretty much got every available dollar at FanDuel in play. A lot of plays, even with these settings. My God, Sabonis triple double. I just want to let's look down through and just see. Let's do something different. Let's do it highest EV to lowest. All right, so the highest EV is the 6.6% with Bryce Williams rebounds. So we got a 7.6% FanDuel. It's a one-sided line again. You've got Pinnacle. The favorite play is under, but Caesars is the only book giving minus odds to the over. Bet online is actually trending to the under. I'm going to pass. I've seen enough. Goodbye. One thing about these the old saying that if it's too good to be true, it usually is, or nothing's ever free in this world. When you get this kind of EV, I really begin to question whether the bet's a good one or not. I'm more likely to move quickly on, say, a 2% play than I am a 7% play or higher. So we've got another one sided line. This is threes over. But this time on the over, we've got the favorite is the over 2.5. There's your dark blue, and that's the only one out there, plus money on the side that we want. That's an oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. FanDuel, Colorado Buffaloes. Colorado, Florida. Whoops. Did I misspell it? Well, it's not coming up. Colorado State's coming up. And when I do Florida, I get Florida Atlantic. God damn it. This is tomorrow. Florida, Colorado. Walter Clayton, threes. Over 2.5. Plus 100. I mean, I think these over under 3.3s is really gambling, but it's hard to ignore the math on this. I'm going to bet it, but I'm not going nuts on those. Let's take the minimum. Let's take the max odds down to 175. I don't really want to look at super dogs. Sebastian Aho. I just had to say it. Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers has been kicking this has trap on it for me. This is just a bet that's going to lose. I just know it. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. I don't need to. I don't even want to see any more of it. Even though you have market consolidation, really the entire market is nicely aligned. Um, I mean, if this was on the under, I'd do it all day long. But I'm not going to. It is on the under, fool. What I should have said is if the favorite, if these numbers were reversed, the minus odds was the under, I would bet it without hesitation. But it's a dog play, and I'm a pass. And it's hockey, and it's Bet Rivers, and I know I'll lose. But I will write it down because I want to see if it. I'm going to kick myself if I bet this and if I pass on it, which I am. All right, I've already got golden bet. CJ McCollum points at Orlando. This is Bovada. Now this is a market, so it looks like everybody's trending to the under. Bovada and Caesars are kind of lagging behind. Of course, the Pelicans are my team. I watch every game. CJ is a great player. What this will boil down to me is he hitting his threes? If he's hitting his threes, this is because he takes a lot of threes. Then this is going to lose. But I really like the alignment, and I like, this is almost a oh hell yeah. You see the blue, which is minus odds. The blue is the light blue designates minus odds. We got minus odds on both sides. We've got plus odds, just three books. Now, if it was even one, the oh hell yeah comes in if this was just one book, and the rest of the market was off. But we do have Caesars in agreement and draft. So, I think this is worth a play. Now, um, I haven't been on Bovada in so long. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. I've been on for a while. I'm going to go to Bovada and try to get this play in. But I don't need to keep you tied up for that. Appreciate you watching. And if you have, I would highly suggest that you go over to A Train Station's website and look at it, watch the videos, learn more about it, and if you enjoy betting and you want to be a positive EV bettor, there's no better place to go than A Train Station. In my humble opinion, it certainly has changed the way I bet, and I've done it successfully now. So appreciate you watching. Thanks.